So here's another one I'm throwing out there today for the Dating Chronicles. Now this one isn't quite as old as my last story. This one happened after my son was born. I'd say that was probably about 2011, maybe 2012, something like that. And I was already back out in the dating game, and I had had some pretty rough experiences, to say the least. So I had built up a little bit of criteria for me to go out on an actual date with guys. Now this was like when Facebook was first emerging, as a social media entity. Of course, it started earlier than that, but I think that's really when people started getting into it and using it as a almost like a meeting and dating and networking tool. So this one guy, he said that he had went to college with me. Oh, that's nice. But I didn't remember him. He remembered me though. So I talked to him for a little bit. In the earlier days of Facebook, you could see a picture, but you really couldn't tell a lot of detail. Some, grainy, pixelated picture. So, you could make out kind of a face, but not really. Of course, that was before the filter nation arose. But I was like, all right, well, from this one grainy picture, he looks okay. I don't remember him, but he says that he knows me. Okay, why not? But I told him, all right, we'll meet in Montgomery. That's close to home. We'll meet at a familiar restaurant, which was the Mexican restaurant in Montgomery. And I said that there's 3 rules. First off, I'm a little bit on the taller side, so please be taller than me. I've went out with guys who are short, where you have to bend down, and it's a personal preference, but I don't like to feel too masculine. I'm a very feminine woman, so I want to look up, or at least, face level with a man. Secondly, please have your teeth. This is West Virginia, and I hate to admit it, but I have went on blind dates where a guy went in to kiss me, and he was missing his front tooth. Not my thing. Not bashing you if you're missing teeth. Some chicks might dig it. I'm not one. And, so he's like, hey, I'm 5'10". I got perfect teeth. And I was like, well, that is wonderful. Last but not least, do you have a funky eye? Is your eye screwed up? And he's like, I don't even know what that means. The reason that I even mention it is because I had an accidental date, which I'll probably post at some time, where I posted on Facebook, I did a check-in, and this guy just showed up while I'm eating my lunch and sits down and proceeds to have a date with me, even though I didn't agree to a date. I just checked into a restaurant, and his eye was like, out there, which I know, some people can't help it. It's not a personal preference of mine, it's just, I had that one, and then I had a blind date. Same thing happened. So I had 2 dates, I guess you could say, before that, where the guy's eye went over here, where the other guy is like, so you don't really know which way the eye's going. You know what I mean? I know you know what I mean. Well, anyway, so he's like, I don't even know what, funked up eye is, but my eyes are perfect too. And I was like, well, then great. Okay, awesome. You got good eyes, you got good teeth, and you're tall. Well, 5'8", 5'10" is what he said. I wouldn't say that's tall. It's taller than me, so it was doable. So anyway, I go to the Mexican restaurant, and I'm sitting there, and I'm waiting at the door, and I see this guy coming, and I could tell from a distance that he wasn't a big fellow, and the closer he got, the shorter he got. And I was like, please God, don't let this be him. Please don't let this be him. He gets to me, and he's literally to here. I'm horrible when it comes to inches, but he might have been 5'2" or 5'3". He was short. And I'm like, okay. And then he smiles, and he's missing his front teeth. And not to mention, because I'm consumed by, okay, this is something I'm going to notice, This is something I'm going to notice. And I'll look into his eyes. I kid you not. One eye's looking at me. One eye's looking over at the mountainside. So, 3 strikes. Like, I'm not going to notice. Those things are wrong. You lied to me. I was catfished. That's what it is. Catfishing. So anyway, I was like, okay, I'm going to try to make the best of it. I always try to make the best of it. I'm not a rude person. You know, I'm not going to go off and be like, bah, 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 bah. So I go into the Mexican restaurant, and, you know, I'm just eating my quesadilla. I love those quesadillas. El Jalisco, Montgomery. Mwah! I love the quesadillas. So, anyway, the guy's trying to talk to me. Like, you know, one eye's here, one eye's looking over. Tech was there at the time. And, you know, I'm just, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. I worked through my quesadilla. It was nice meeting you. I know personally I'm never going to see this guy again. I'm probably just going to ghost him since he lied to me about every single thing. I don't even know if he really went to college with me. I don't know. So, anyway, that's what happened. I, you know, just wash that away. Wash that nightmare away. Okay. And then, fast forward, maybe like a couple years. This is like really awkward. So, my bestie, who set me up with Stankfoot, invites me to a dinner. And this girl comes up. I don't know the girl, but she knows me. I guess everybody knows me. I don't know. Maybe I'm one of those memorable people. I don't know, but thank you. And she's like, oh, I think you went out with my husband. And I was like, oh, he's your husband. You know, that's kind of an awkward thing to say. I mean, I wouldn't do that personally. I mean, I wouldn't, you know, bring up your husband in a date or dating or whatever. And she mentions his name, and I'm like, oh. She's like, yeah, you know, he said that he dated you. Oh, in his dreams. Maybe, like, this whole thing, it was just based on a lie. With your eye and your missing teeth. But anyway, it just made for a very, very awkward, you know, dining experience. And I just smiled. I mean, because that's her husband. What do you do? What do you do? You can't, like, say anything negative. She married him. So anyway, that is my second story for the Dating Chronicles today. And let's just call that one Lefteye and Sawtooth. Thank you. Bye.